Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. I'm Domina Della Pie. P-I-E. That's my name. Domina Della. From the island of Dominica. And I have been called dominant and a domina. I never name myself. I'm named by others. Pie is also my name. You can take it as P-I or P-I-E. It's entirely up to you. But the word today is righteousness. On being righteous. Righteousness is defined as the quality of being morally right or justifiable. We had little doubt about the righteousness of our cause. I'm taking this straight from Google because I was at DuckDuckGo and Google pushed off my DuckDuckGo page. So what is righteousness according to the Bible? Righteousness and the word righteous appear 540 times in 520 verses in the Bible. A layman's definition of righteousness is simply right standing with God. Righteousness is the condition of being in a right relationship with the Lord. This can only happen through total faith and dependence upon Christ. Now, as far as religion, I was born into a religious tradition, the Catholic tradition on my island, baptized, Holy First Communion, and I decided to leave the church at the point of confirmation when I was to be a soldier of Christ. I didn't see Christ as God. I saw Christ as my brother. Christ, Jesus, and I will say not the Jesus Christ that these demons worship, but Jesus Christ of Nazareth. That's my brother, okay? There is still a God above Jesus Christ. Because before Jesus Christ, there was God. And as far as I'm concerned, there was something sinister about the Catholic tradition that decided to just rewrite the story that they took from the African spirituality, ancient texts. They went into Ethiopia and they went into Egypt and they outright stole and plagiarized and rewrote. And for that reason, I believe the story has been tainted and I refuse to follow it. But I will always have Jesus in my heart as my dearest brother, right? And God is my Father. The Father of Jesus is my Father. And I am not quick to just get rid of God. Because I like to believe in Creator and Source. And I believe in Creator and Source because I was basically an orphan. I call myself an orphan because though I had two parents, they were not around to guide me, to teach me, to protect me, to love me, to, everything that children require. I did not really receive it from my mother and father, though they were alive. And for that reason, God became my mother and my father. In addition to a grandmother who sort of raised me and sort of didn't, she provided the bare necessities, food, clothing, shelter. And I was left on my own to fend for myself. So I got closer and closer to God before I then turned my back on God, only to have to return. They call it doing a 360. I literally went 360 degrees from the point of loving God to rejecting God and full circle back again. Because in all of my going around and seeking enlightenment and seeking knowledge and seeking truth, it always came back to the righteousness of God in my heart. And that's where I felt most at peace and most loved. Because when I went to the humans, let's say the ones in the family, we go to family, we go to community, we're in the neighborhood, we are on the job, we're in school, and we are not finding a lot of love in those environments. In this atmosphere, there is not much love, but there's plenty of hate. And I had to question why so much hate, and the reason I ask is because Being that I was practically an orphan, my parents didn't give a crap about me, and they showed me. They had other children that they cared more about, or they were there for more than they were there for me. So why is that? What have I done to deserve this? Here I am, born into this earth, a firstborn at that, firstborn child, pushed to the side, and others are exalted above me, those who came after me. Okay? Just like I see is happening with God. Suddenly, this Catholic Church, the Vatican, that's a bunch of demons, I say, just push God aside. Push God aside, and there's Jesus, and I hear they are child molesters. I saw recently, just as recently as yesterday, it was a video. There's a teacher somewhere in the US. I don't remember. To me, those details are not important. But she's somewhere in the US, and she's telling the children that their parents are not important. You know, to me, it has to be an individual, case by case. Some parents have done some horrible things to the children, and some parents have done honorably by their children and done what is right by their children, meaning taking care of them, ensuring that they're safe and sound, cared for, secure and stable, given the attention and affection. Children don't ask for much, and children don't really need much, but they need plenty of love. They need a lot of love. And I receive in God the love. It's always there. It's always there. All I have to do, I touch my heart. I don't have to, but it's in my heart. I always know that in my heart there dwells God, the love of God in me. And that brings me closer and closer to God, because the more I feel the love of God in me, the closer I feel to God and godliness, which is in turn having me at the seat of righteousness. And the reason that's important is because of all these people I see that you are worshiping, especially, I like to refer to the black people because that's my background is, and I say black, when I say black, I mean the blackness of my skin. I know you want us to forget about the people who were here first with the blackest skin. Skin black like tar. I remember that is what the Dominicans used to say to me. You black. With contempt. You're black like tar. Like that was something bad. Meanwhile, most of us were black like tar on that island. And yet, they only valued those who were a lighter complexion. Which is why I believe my mom was not able to embrace me. The man I don't know if my father raped her. Because she don't talk about anything. Did he rape her? I don't know. But here I was born with very dark skin. And she had very light skin. And she just couldn't love me. She couldn't love me. She couldn't show me love. And I needed that most. And when you don't receive love, you look for it in all sorts of places, and it brings you to places that are not good for you to be in. You need to be in the bosom of your mother, your father, your family, your community. But no, they are calling me names, cutting their eyes at me, stooping, because I have dark skin. But I happen to have the good hair. Why? Because of the indigenous, black indigenous, they call Coolie. Some of us have Indian from India as well as Indian from the island, Indian from the Americas. We are a blend. We are a mix. We are truly mixed. And if we say that, those black people who say they are from African slavery, they get very angry with us because they have been conditioned to dismiss, deny, and erase us, as if replace us. And you have to be mindful of that. The motives of the people who are giving you money and giving you things and telling you, this is yours, this is all yours. And they're telling you, this is yours, this is your country, they are your boundaries. The whole world belongs to us. Us, we, the people. And you cannot have this nonsensical system. It's a shitstem of government where these politicians keep tricking you over and over and over again, and you keep voting for them. You having them represent you. Who the hell are they to represent you? Look what they've done. And you're still there supporting them, fighting your brother, fighting your sister, fighting your mother, fighting your friends, your family. You are fighting because you have faith in a shitstorm that is killing us, literally. From the air they are polluting with their poisonous gases, the soil they have polluted, the water they have polluted, The food they sell to you at such high prices, they've polluted. The Chinese people were selling food, poisoned baby formula. And yet you have much of the food supply in the hands of Chinese. That is obviously a genocidal plan to exterminate, to eliminate, to eradicate, to be rid of us. And I say, let's get back to God. Because with God in your heart, you don't want to harm your brother or your sister. When you embrace the devil, the demonic spirits, that is the badness in your mind. That's when you hate. You hate when you embrace devilish spirit, like from alcohol, you're drinking liquor. That's a devilish, demonic spirit. When you take drugs, you snort cocaine and you think you're greater than everyone, right? That's a devilish, demonic spirit. When you're popping pills to make you feel a certain way when you're high, because you're taking the pills and you're taking the alcohol and you're smoking some weed. But in the weed, you lace it with meth. So the pharmaceuticals that you are addicted to, you don't understand the sacred herb must remain sacred. Purity. So you're going to put some lace in there. You're going to put some crack in there and give it to a young boy so you can molest him, so you can screw up his mind so much that he starts to believe that, yes, he is gay. He thinks he's gay because an older guy gave him a joint with crack in it. Or a young boy given by an older guy a joint laced with meth. They are screwing up our children, screwing up their minds. And then they're telling you they were born this way. You were not born this way. I wasn't born gay. I was involved in queer activity. I was involved in queer community. But they did stuff to me as well. It's people. People have evil intent and it's in their heads. That's why I'm not impressed with all of these people with their degrees and their diplomas and all, because they're miseducated. They have these people who were oppressing us for so many generations in charge of our education. And they laugh at the old lady. I see them online laughing at the old grandma who's telling you, get some bush tea, get some ginger tea, get some key lime, get some CMOS. You know, they laughed at Dr. Sebi. Now, so many of them are now into CMOS. Soon the world will be depleted of CMOS, right? Because after they murdered Sebi, more and more of them are waking up, right? Now, those pharmaceuticals that we are being forced to take, including the inoculation, the jabs in our arms, we have no need for that. They're trying to make it that we don't need to, you just go into this hospital in quotes, because hospitals have drastically changed by their design. And you just go into this chamber and then they, do the little technological equations there and they press this and press that. And next thing you know, if you go in for a brain operation, you can come out 30 minutes later, fully healed, your brain healed. And I'm like, well, what the hell did they do to you? What kind of radiation? What kind of, I don't know about that. I'm not losing sight of God. I am here preventing myself from getting sick, right? Preventing myself from getting mental illness. I'm taking all the bitter that I can. Yes, I love bitter because I was taught to love sweetness. My grandmother was there, but she wasn't there because she had a shop. She sold sweet things, baked goods, tablet, guava cheese, guava jam, guava juice, everything sweet, cakes, coconut cake, rock cake, and pies, and ice cream, and sweeties, candy, chocolate, all the things I love. Plus we had an abundance of tropical fruit. Tropical fruit is known to be very sweet. I became addicted and nobody could really correct me. I just loved it and I was having it. I was indulging because I was not supervised enough to say, hey, moderation is a key. Moderation. So I had to find for myself by being alone, spending lots of time alone. Because whenever I was around people, what they always seemed to do to me and with me is compete. Compete. People are competing with you. You don't even know they're competing with you. And when you are competing with someone, it's because you don't like them. And you have in your mind, you got to beat them. How about you focus on you instead of focusing on the other guy? Don't focus on your sister. Don't focus on your brother. Focus on yourself. If your sister and your brother are doing things you admire, tell them, hey, I really like that, sis. Oh, bro, that's good. That's great. But no, you seeing brothers and sisters and cousins and aunties and mums and dads and grandmas, they're seeing the children doing things, remarkable things, and they're not giving them any praise, any acknowledgement, no support at all. And they're jealous. They're jealous of your gifts and abilities, God-given. Everything I have is from God. Everything. Everything I have is from God. It's not from no damn devil. But you all are actively and openly worshiping these devils. I don't want to say names of them. Your demonic spirits that you worship every time the full moon. I'm speaking now because it's the full moon. I know many of you are casting spells. Many of you are accepting money to do your obia, your voodoo, and all the other doo-doos that you do. Around the time of the full moon, you are doing rituals, casting spells, you're going into graveyards, you're digging up things, you're burying things, you're putting things in jars, you're collecting people's hair and their toenails and their fingernails, and you're doing all kinds of hocus pocus. And you are trying to block the gifts of others. You want to block the progress of others. You want to block, if you know somebody who's doing something well, you do the same thing. You can do it well as well, but you don't have the guts. You don't have the guts because you don't give the glory to God. That's why you don't have the guts. And you, in your mind, you build yourself up like you're God. Because you're competing with God too, because you're a damn fool. You're competing with God. Yeah, you are God, right? If you're God, do the right thing because God creates, not destroys. And most of you are here on earth destroying. So many of you are hell bent on destruction. You cannot do the right thing to save anyone's life, including your own. So you're in the pit as well. You are deep in the pit and you want to drag everyone down in the pit with you because your ass is in the bottle drinking. Then you gotta smoke this weed with meth, laced with meth or laced with crack, or you smoke some crack. We saw Joe Biden's son, doing his drugs, being with prostitutes, and you are worshiping him and putting down the other guy. The other guy you've demonized. And the real demon you have as your leader. Because why? He's not really your leader. He's been placed there. He's a puppet, just like all the other puppet leaders before him. President, Prime Minister. These guys are standing, but they are failing. That's how you know they're not real. Every one of these so-called leaders, the G7, they're placed there, they're planted there, and they're deplorable, for real. And here, when they say this word, it's mean, that's, like Clinton, Hillary. She was talking about herself when she was saying deplorable. I saw her just collapse, trying to walk collapse, and they say, there's somewhere in the South Pacific, I'm not sure if it's Guinea, where they some of them engage in, not all the people, but some people engaged in cannibalism. And what did they do to them? Go and do the research, you'll find out. When they're eating the flesh and drinking the blood of humans, that is ungodly. That is against God. And there are people doing that, and some of them are your leaders. Okay? So I'm talking about righteousness because that's how I feel. I feel righteous. And I can see through people. When people lie to me, I know it. And, I don't even say anything. I don't call them on it because it's a game they play with their denial of their state of being. And I'm true to myself. I'm true to my God. God is in my heart, dwells with me. I cannot do bad things because I have a conscience and I have an awareness of a presence of God in my life. And anytime I get a notion to do, no, I don't. I don't even have a notion to do bad. I don't know how to. But it used to happen that bad thoughts would creep into my mind because of things people had done to me. And I had to clear my mind of that as well. So this is here me today telling you you have the spirit of the devil in you. And that's why your mind is bad. Your mind is on doing bad things to people, getting in counsel with other bad people, and plotting and planning the demise of others. Don't do that. You cannot rise in that spirit of the demon. You cannot rise in that spirit of the devil. You can only rise when you do the right thing. And it starts with you. Love yourself. Learn to love yourself. When you love yourself, you won't be drinking alcohol. You can have a drink, you have some wine, but you cannot be drinking the bottle of this strong spirits, because it alters your perception. It alters your heart. It alters your mind. It alters your body. It gives you cancer. It gives you liver disease. You get kidney disease from these substances, these poisons that they sell us for very high price. Very high price poisons you buy. And you don't look where you need to look in the garden, in the rainforest. You don't want to go into the bush. You want to drive off in a Mercedes. You want to drive off in a European label. You want to tell the world like Brother Polite. There he is boasting about his $400,000 car. Really? And he's got his wives, in quotes. He never married one of them, but there are 4 wives. And they're walking with him, doing I don't know what the hell kind of supposed to be a walk of triumph, dancing down the street, these women are looking like prostitutes, look like strippers. And those are his wives. And these guys want to have black men embrace polygamy. But all that means to them is that they just screwing different women. They having women having sex with each other, and they're freaky. So they're going to be like, oh, look, I'll have my wives are lesbians and they can have sex with each other. And they're exposed to women with young girls, young children, right? And they're looking at the girl. She's 8 years old. She's 9 years old. They're just waiting for her to turn 11, 12. They're grooming her, having sex with her by the age of 14. Now, I don't know about that story I just heard. His semen was found. His DNA was found on this girl. Her mouth was swollen and bruised. And she woke up. He was like trying to make her throw up, regurgitate, sticking his finger down her throat. He'd taken her to supposedly an after party at a hotel. Like, where was her mother, right? Why would the mother allow this man to take her daughter somewhere, 14-year-old? Makes no sense to me. So if you black guys talking about polygamy and women, you can't be alone, Oh, don't be alone. Be with me and my 5 wives, right? And bring me your children so I can molest them, boys and girls, little black boys, little black girls, white and black, boys and girls, Asians, Latin, all of them, little children getting molested by mommy's boyfriend, by mommy's husband. Mommy has a new husband. Mommy has a new boyfriend. Mommy has a husband who has how many other sister wives? You're not living right, you people. You're not. And that's why you hate me, because I see all right through your bullshit. You're living lives of bullshit. And you're prancing around talking about how much you spent on a car and how much you spent on this, and you're in this mansion. Do you understand living in a mansion, what it all entails? A mansion eats up a lot of your money. The money should be invested, right? You're living a life of pleasure, luxury. You want to have a pool. It costs money to maintain a pool. Somebody has to clean the pool. You need to put chemicals in the pool to clean it. Who the hell wants a damn chlorinated pool? If you're going to get a pool, let me tell you, get at least a saltwater pool, right? That's more impressive to me. But better still, get to the sea, get to the ocean, get to the real saltwater body of water made by God, not by your devil. Anyway. Yes. I am Domina Della Pie, Mistress Sasha Storm. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe. Good day.